Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with the final flip through for the Beloved Beauty Journal. I did originally talk through parts of the video, but decided that I would go ahead and do the voiceover as it's a little bit more controlled on my end. So this top piece that you see, and I apologize for the talking hands, you're going to be seeing that throughout. But I wanted to start with this piece here because this was the very first piece of ephemera that we made, and it was meant to be part of the signature, sewn into the signature, but I didn't do that. So I went ahead and added some coffee dyed paper and made a little journal out of it, and we'll use it as well, it was intended to be an insert in the journal, but the journal is too chunky, so it will not fit. So I did put some sari silk there along the spine there, and I put some washi tape to kind of cover up the staples as well as reinforce that spine. So that is coffee dyed paper from my stash, so super fun to use. And then we're going to get into the big journal. Oh, here just showing you that I stapled it in with my long arm stapler. Just a great writing space for her if she wants to just keep it in her car or on her bedside table or in her living room where she sits. She can have it just to grab and write. So I'm hoping that that will be a blessing to her. So, and then we're going to get into the big mama. So this journal is so chunky. As you can see, I did tie her off with some green sari silk, and there's an recycled earring there that's on the bottom of one of the ends of the sari silk, and I thought it was perfect for this kind of antique romance Victorian kind of journal, which is what she requested. So let me just show you how big she is here after I show off that little dangle there. It is a 3-inch spine, as I've mentioned in the other videos. It has 3 signatures. I do allow 1 inch per signature, and then we did that cover on video. If you want to check out the playlist, you can see how we made all of the bits that go in this journal, and so yeah, it was super fun and really kind of a broken process for me because I did have COVID in the middle of that, and it was just kind of a mess, but it took me a while. I did put some beads, as I was showing you there, on the bottom of the signature strings. I was going to put beads on the tabs that we created where I put the eyelets on, but I decided against that because I'm not great at the beads, and so I thought I would just string some sari silk through those eyelet holes throughout the journal on the tabs, and I thought it turned out really great. I would rather have a lot of textile stuff to be able to kind of look at and feel flipping through my own journal if this was my own. So it's a little bit hard to show you on camera because the journal is very tall. It's 3 inches in thickness. So this is the first bit, and this is one of the pieces that we made on camera that you can find in the playlist. So I just attached it on the inside front cover because a lot of my pieces ended up being too big for the journal, which I'm not exactly sure how that happened, but it did. So this is an envelope from Dreams Etc. Love Story Kit, and I like to just secure them closed with some Velcro and leave them as an open writing space so she can take it out, journal on it, and then stick it back in. And so that's some of the tabs that I created, which I showed you in a previous video. I did not make them on camera, but I did talk about them. And I just take my scraps, I run them through my sewing machine with a zigzag stitch and a straight stitch and create just a little bit of a funky tab. And then we did create some fabric ruffles. Well, I did not do that on camera. And this one here is a pocket behind this cute little journaling space. So there I'm just showing you that that is a pocket. And if you just pull that up, it reveals that it's a secret journal spot. It can be tricky to get in and out until it loosens up in there, but no worries at all. Just tucked a little card in here into a tuck that I created when I glued down this smaller secret journaling spot, and so just makes it a little bit more usable. I don't do anything with the vellum. I just really love the various kind of textures and sounds and crinkly bits that we get when we use different kinds of paper. And I was talking here about how I did these mixed media envelopes that I had embossed the envelope with an embossing folder, and I measured them wrong. This was one of those pieces that was just like, I can't believe that it didn't fit. So I'm going to be a little bit more cognizant of that in the next journal that I'm making. But this piece flips down. It does have a pocket there, as I'm indicating. I did not put something in every pocket because this baby got really chunky, so I had to say no at some point. I did create a few of these kind of journaling letter kinds of things that can be that are tucked in that she can write in as well. And she could also replace them with her own paper if she, wrote on them and wanted to save them. She could stick them away in a keepsake box or whatever. So I did do some stenciling on a lot of the pages that had a little bit less going on because I felt like it really jazzes up the journal pages in a really subtle way. I always intend to do that before I actually sew the signatures in, and once again, I did not do that, so I had to do it once they were in. But this is the scrappy tag, one of the scrappy tags that we made on camera. Super fun, and it's just kind of sticking gently in that little pocket. It's a little bit tricky because it's got a lot of layers, but it worked out okay. And just showing you the close-up a little bit more of that mixed media stuff. And then as you can see, that girl matches the one on the front. And then this is one of our tea bag clusters that we made on camera. You can find that either in the Beloved Beauty Journal playlist or the cluster playlist. It's in both places. And this was a really large, this is the other scrappy tag, sorry. Just a fun little element, something a little bit different than the normal. Sometimes when you put things in, they do get a little bit stuck initially until you pull them out for the first time, and that's perfectly normal. We've got a little cluster here in the corner that I made into a tuck spot and stuck a couple of pieces of ephemera in there. This is our accordion flip that I just adored this. I think I watched it on Angela Kerr's channel. If you go to the playlist to this video, I give credit to her in that video. So obviously a lot of these ideas come from other people, and so I try to give credit where I can. So this is a really large tag that I made and put this kind of, it's like a fabric rose type of thing up at the top. I put one on the top, on the front and the back of that tag. Super fun and really pretty. It does add a lot of bulk, so as I mentioned in a previous video, I do make my my spine big enough so that I can have the bulk in the journal that I really enjoy. So, and here's just another one of those mixed media index card pockets that I made on camera. That's one of the pouches that we made. I did not put anything in this because, again, the bulk in this journal was just out of control. So I will let Sherry decide what she wants to do with it. That is my friend up north that requested this journal. So just a little, that's our over the page cluster. You can also find that in the Beloved Beauty Journal playlist or the cluster playlist. Just showing you some of the vintage elements that I used. I didn't put a lot on those pages because I really like just the look of them just being there, and I think they're just really add a lot of character to the journal, even if they're not as usable. This is our second larger hidden journaling spot here. So again, just lifts up and really great secret place to write. So. And this is our swing tag. So it is glued on 3 sides to create a tuck, but it swings out, as you can see here. And I just am securing it with that paper clip. I apologize, I did not note that a moment ago. Because that swing tag, we don't want it to get destroyed by being moved around as the journal is flipped through. So I'm just securing it with that paper clip. I'm going to do a video on how I do those paper clips, because you can conceal the bigger part of the paper clip as well as the back side, the small part. And I'm going to do a video on that because it's really epic. This one, we really fussed getting it into this journal if you're paying attention to the other videos. It was too wide, another piece that was too wide, but we persevered and we got it done, and it works just fine. And this one is another one of the, that's a paperclip cluster that we did also on camera. You can find that in the cluster playlist or the Beloved Beauty playlist. And then the envelope there below, I kind of messed up on it because it was supposed to be a fully opening, that could be fully open, but because of the way I put the Velcro, I realized as I was doing the flip through, it's not going to work, but it can be opened at the top and something stuck in. So my apologies for that, Sherry. I did do, again, as I mentioned, some little bit of stenciling, so great writing space there, another paperclip dangle. Again, going to do a video on that. And then again, as I mentioned, I don't do anything with the vellum pages. I think they're just beautiful to look at, and you can see through them, so they're really appealing. And here, moving on to the last signature. This was my favorite signature, and it was supposed to be in the front, but I put it in wrong, upside down, and so I had to flip everything. So yeah, and there's the sari silk that I mentioned that I tied onto those eyelets on the tabs throughout the journal. This was a new piece that was added into the journal, and another one of those kind of scrappy toppers that I was talking about. This is a design team project that I made for Rockwell Designs, and I made it exclusively for this journal. So yeah, so I think I did. I can't remember if I made it for this journal or if it just seemed to fit. Can't quite remember. That was a little while ago, so probably just made it because I love roses. So there's our third fabric ruffle there, and then just a couple of little tucks. So that is as you can see, the tag opens and it can be written on. And this was our CD envelope flip. And this, I just love these. They're a little bit bulky in a journal, but I think they're well worth the landscape that they take up, because they've got that great journaling spot that just slides right back in there and makes a really great element. So, and then just a second one. I'm not pulling it all the way out, but you can see what I'm getting at there. And then more writing space on the other half of that vellum page. I always put vellum pages in my journals. I love them. A little bit more stenciling, and then another one of those over the page clusters. If you're interested in how I made those, you can check out the playlist for that. More writing space, a little bit of stenciling. And then this is another tag. I thought that it was a swing tag, but it's not, I don't think. Let's see. I did leave it open there in case she wants to tuck anything into it. I guess I didn't really explore that very much. This is our third mixed media index card that we're using as a pocket there. And this is where it gets a little tricky because it's so heavy on the left side now that it's kind of hard to hold open and get you to the end of the journal, but just a little cluster there. I love the magazine pages. This is from a Good Housekeeping magazine from the early 1960s. And this is the one that I thought was a swing tag, but I don't think it is unless it got glued where it shouldn't have been glued. I may explore that a little bit more because it is open in the center. As you're going to see here, I'm going to be sliding my hand in it. So I think it might have just got stuck. So I'm going to definitely open the journal back up and explore that a little bit more, securing that with one of those spiral paper clips and some sari silk. Our last piece is this large tag pocket in the back. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that you're inspired to try some of these things. And I hope and hope and hope and pray that my friend loves this journal. It was made with love, a lot of prayer, a lot of consideration for her. So thank you guys so much for coming by. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.